subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Natural, what's up, Natural?
I wanted to ask, what about the Irish?
What about them?
Also enslaved?
No, they weren't. They were
Also
indentured
oppressed?
servants. They were
They were also no. They were enslaved.
they were indentured servants. No, you don't pay slaves. They got paid.
No, there was a time when there were Irish who were not being paid.
Yes, they got.
They were also enslaved.
They
were
got
not
no. They,
paid.
ma'am,
I'm not saying,
ma'am,
hold on. I'm not saying,
ma'am. You're not going to talk over me. Irish got freedom dues. After they had indentured servitude, they worked for 7 to 10 years. Afterwards, they got money, weapons, and land. Don't sit here lying, ma'am. All
okay.
right.
I'm a history major.
Me too. Me too. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's do some history. We're gonna do some history.
I can't go ahead when you mute me.
Oh, you're unmuted.
Are you gonna have a conversation with me? Or you're gonna keep muting me?
Are you gonna lie? Because if you lie,
I'm not lying.
All right.
I'm not
You're
lying.
not gonna say nothing that's just not true. All right. Now go ahead.
Okay.
Let's hear this.
There's evidence in the pill. I put a post in the pill. There's a thread there about the Irish being enslaved. So take that or leave it. I offer the information.
No, they weren't slaves because and ma'am.
Okay, so you're gonna cut me off. That's not a conversation, sir.
No, because I'm correcting you. You're saying that they were slaves, but they were.
Yeah, I don't need you to correct me. I put evidence in the pill. I said take it or leave it.
Well, I'm leaving it because I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's great. So next, did you invite me up here to have a conversation?
I'm gonna mute that little old mayonnaise encrusted ass. You're not going to talk over me. You're not going to do that. You said something, and I'm responding.
But you can talk over me.
Yeah, this is my platform, ma'am. And we have decorum here. You're not at a meth lab. You don't get to run around amok and just say stuff. You say something, then I say something.
And I waited patiently for you to finish talking before I started talking.
Then you started talking over me, ma'am. We're not going to. And
I was still talking when you interrupted me.
You're getting into just plaining and babbling. I want to correct your false narrative about history because I'm going to bring some scholarship. Man, there were laws all over the East Coast saying that white Christians could not be enslaved. So what are you talking about?
I'm not saying that there were not indentured servants. Okay, it's not mutually exclusive.
Yes. Where were Irish slaves? Where were Irish slaves in America?
Oh my God! Look, dude, it's. Oh my God.
Were Irish slaves? Because I can show you the places where they said that white people could not be enslaved. Where were Irish slaves?
In Iceland.
Ma'am, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. This is what I'm saying, family. They get to talking. Iceland. When are you talking?
And in Ireland, and in North America, and in Barbados, in the West Indies, and Montserrat.
Okay, we're talking about North America. Now we know you got.
Yeah, I said North America.
Okay, but where?
I also, excuse me.
Where in North America?
My God, bro.
Where? Because I want you to tell me, because I'm gonna debunk the hell out of your ass. Because
Virginia,
I know
the Carolinas.
No, it wasn't. No, bullshit, bullshit. That's bullshit. There were laws
Guyana
in Virginia
and Antigua.
There were I'm talking about North America, ma'am, and even
Guyana and Antigua and other colonies.
You're just saying stuff, ma'am.
All right.
You're just saying. Hold on, let me get my sister. Hold on. We're gonna have a conversation.
You think I'm a white supremacist? I'm not a white supremacist. I'm actually mixed race. Thank you very much.
Okay. First,
so you think I'm a white supremacist? I'm not. You made assumptions about who I am.
I didn't even say that.
I do.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you were a white supremacist. I didn't even imply that. Where did you? That's a projection. What are you mixed with, by the way? Oh God, I got to hear this. Please don't say Native American, please.
I am Irish, German, English, Aztec, Mexican, and Spaniard.
You Aztec, Mexican, and Spaniard, huh?
Yes, because I traced my lineage back to Moctezuma himself and his great-granddaughter.
Oh, Lord. Oh, y'all be trying to claim some goddamn Aztec. No, y'all was some of those little bastardized tribes around there, ma'am. You're not no damn Aztec. Well, let me get Cyber Regina, hop on.
I'm sorry, you don't know shit about my genealogy. I've done the research. You didn't. So make claims you want. Make all the false claims you want, but it's an assassination on my character
Cyber,
that you're calling me a liar.
Hi, Tariq. How are you?
oh,
So great.
very bad.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk. What is
Oh,
her
cyber,
name now?
very bad.
Can you hear?
Oh goodness, Cyber Regina, call back, dear, because the connection was horrible, horrible. I couldn't even hear you, dear, and I do want you to chime in. But natural, tell me more about some of this Irish oppression over here in America. What was the Irish oppression?
Irish need not apply, man. We were oppressed too.
Really?
Yeah. Guess what? You may not know this too, but the Irish were also seafaring and made many trips to Africa. The Berbers, the very light skinned African Berbers, are known to have mixed with the Irish.
Mm,
I have melanin, okay? Like, we're not that. Oh my God.
the Berbers.
The divisiveness of your message
Hold on, wait,
is
wait,
really disturbing.
hold on.
I
Oh, no, you can't say nothing and just run. Okay, so the Berbers were mixed with Irish. That what you saying?
Yeah, that's why they both look. If you look at them, they both have freckles. Their ear shapes are very similar. Their hair colors are very
Those
similar. You have
are the
redhead Berbers in Africa.
those,
Absolutely.
those are the modern ones. But yeah, the Berbers, those were black folks. The Moors and all of them, these were black folks. Even they're just
Take a look at the Berbers. Go take a look at the Berbers, my friend.
Moors. When the black
Go look up beautiful pictures of light skinned Berbers in Africa. They
right,
are
right,
gorgeous with freckles.
we're talking about ancient times and seafaring times. A lot of those Irish were actually black, according to a white man from Ireland, David McRitchie, who wrote books in the 1800s called Ancient and Modern Britons. He said a lot of those people were actually black in Ireland, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was racial mixing between Ireland and Africa. There were blacks and whites getting it on, my dude.
But
So this whole like acting like the Irish didn't get oppressed. Yes, we absolutely
but
did.
here's
Why?
the
Because
problem with the Irish, ma'am. Y'all came
keep
over.
cutting me off. We were the most accepting and interracially marrying and grouping.
Ma'am, the Klan was started by an Irishman. Nathan Bedford Forrest was Irish. Are you insane? The Irish had a big stronghold up in Boston. That's where a lot of them Irish went. That's why
Yeah, and I bet he was a goy
the
too.
Bolton Celtics, that's Irish.
You know, there's a lot
That's
of white
that's
people.
one of the most anti-black goddamn cities in this country. What are you talking about, ma'am? Who you
I'm not saying all Irish people.
who you think you talking to? When they had the draft riots for the Civil War, it was Irish immigrants attacking black men, women, and children in New York. Ma'am, really? Who
I am not saying that all Irish people are.
you just sat up here talking about how you were oppressed too and how you're just loving and you open the door for everybody. Stop it, ma'am.
You keep silencing me, dude.
Ma'am,
I literally went. I got arrested.
this ain't the space to come in here lying, ma'am. We know history in here. Let me try.
Let me finish my thought, dude.
Ma'am, you better put that meth pipe in your mouth and shut your ass up while we're talking. That's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna run stuff in here. Let me get my sister.
I'm not running shit because you keep muting
My
me.
sister
Stop
cyber,
muting me when I'm talking. It's rude.
yeah, this is my space. Let me get my sister to chime in. Let me get Cyber Regina. Cyber Regina, hop on, dear.
Hi, Tariq. How are you?
Much better.
You can just talk. You just run your mouth and shut people up because you don't like to have an
I got
actual
my sister
conversation.
here. Be quiet. Cyber Regina, hop on, dear.
Down a little bit and just clean up your language. It's very unladylike, okay? You're not making yourself look great in front of this crew. You're very intelligent. Space. Speak English. Now, what I'd like to ask you, you're Irish, and I'm going to tell you something. The matriarch of my family was from Ireland. 1660, came over here with Lord Baltimore. Her name was Eleanor Butler. You can look it up, okay? She was an indentured servant. They were indentured servant. She chose to marry a slave and then became a slave because she married a black man. In fact,
Oh, so there were Irish slaves.
she did it. She did it herself.
So there were Irish slaves.
Because they married black men. They married black
So
slaves.
they went. So again,
Exactly.
accepting interracial marriage.
Nobody.
What the fuck are y'all talking about? You make your message is so divisive. It is sickening. We are all human beings. Have a little empathy. That is where I get really frustrated with this divisive message that's thrown out that we're against each other. We are not. We're all a human family. I literally got arrested protesting at the BLM
Oh God,
riots. I was there
Lord.
protesting for BLM, organizing these events. Don't act like there's no white people out there fighting for you.
Oh, wait, hold on, wait, slow down, hold on. Natural, hold on, slow down. Let's slow it up. Natural, let me ask you this. Natural, do you think George Floyd died because Derek Chauvin killed him, or George Floyd died of an overdose of fentanyl?
Well, first of all, I don't believe anything that goes on the news, so it may have been a false flag. I don't know whether or not he was killed by Chauvin or whether it was a overdose. I really don't know because I don't believe shit that they tell us. They excuse me, they mess with our heads. They tell
Get
us these
about
false
and
stories specifically for this divisive
okay.
message
What
to be growing, to be they're feeding this divisive message to us to divide
get,
America, to put us in these little groups. All I hear on these spaces is religious war and race war.
she's deflecting, ladies and gentlemen. She's deflecting. This is called deflecting. Why are you,
No, sir, I'm uniting. I am not deflecting. I am uniting. I am telling you once again, this is.
ma'am? When you saw that video of George Floyd, what do you think happened to him? Forget about what the media said. What do you,
I think the police were absolutely, they used far too much force. I think the police, I think we need far more social workers and far less police. I think that the prison reform system is, or the prison system needs to be reformed.
notice how she keeps playing dumb and deflecting, family? I want y'all to see this.
It's not deflection. I don't know was my answer.
Okay, yeah, you have to know something. You saw either he died of fentanyl or he got killed. Which one was it?
I told you I don't know and I don't believe anything they show us on the
That's,
news, period.
ladies and gentlemen, either he got killed. It's that simple. And she
I wasn't there, bro.
family. And remember, she organized for Black Lives Matter. This is what I've been telling people. You understand what I'm saying? Just because somebody's out there, what the hell you out here organizing for Black Lives Matter when you
I was protesting the police brutality. The
well,
police
you
used
won't even
entirely.
admit that it's brutality. You won't even admit that the man got killed. So what are you protesting? See? What are you protesting? Huh? What were you protesting? And you won't even admit that the man got killed.
It's really hard for me to answer when you
You
keep
ain't
me muted and really leave those awkward silences to make it act like I
what were
can't answer or that I'm intellectually incapable of answering or that I'm somehow stuttering. I'm not stuttering.
family? You better learn.
You just keep muting me.
And yes, because you're not going to babble. I'm giving a lesson here. This is a lesson. Learn how these suspected white supremacists play both sides. They play both sides. Go ahead, Natural. Anything? Okay, you know what, Natural? All you're going to do is babble. So I think I've proven my point. That's my damn point, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all caught all of that. I've been telling people that. The same people in the dominant white society who go out there with a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on, come on, no justice, no peace, they'll get their ass in that courtroom and let a cop get off for killing somebody black and then go right back out there in the streets with a damn Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. I told y'all that's the game they play because I would go to these protests during the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all that. I would go to these protests all around the country. I'm like, look at all of these white people out here. And just a common sense thing would just pop up on me. I'm like, how come we can't get none of them in the courtroom? Oh, there's thousands of white people out here in the streets, but we can't get 12 of them in a courtroom? That don't make sense. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute. These are the same people in the courtroom. These are the exact same people who go in these courtrooms, see a black kid get shot in the back and sit up here and say, yep, it was justified. And then they'll leave that courtroom and take their ass outside and put on a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and march down the street with you talking about solidarity. We all need to love each other. It's the same damn people. And this Natural woman sits up here talking about, oh, solidarity, solidarity. It's your community that has been the most divisive. You created white supremacy and you created the white supremacist laws. And you're going to sit up here talking about some damn Irish? The Irish are some of the biggest anti-black racists over here. Boston, full of Irish people. Some of the most anti-black racist laws over there imaginable. It was the Irish who were allowed to be police. They had the Irish in charge of the damn police doing all of the damn brutality. Don't let these people fool you. Nathan Bedford Forrest of the Klan, who started the Klan, was Irish. Come on now. Let's be real. Don't let them run that whole us Irish were oppressed too. Stop it. Irish were indentured servants. They were not chattel slaves. They had contracts. Many of them voluntarily came over. Some of them were in the prisons, but they were not owned for life. They had specific law. That's why I tried to get her to name some of the cities. Then she just started lying, just making up shit. Because in like Virginia and South Carolina, they had very specific laws that white people who are Christian could not be enslaved. You're not going to run that game on us. The indentured servants, they had legal protection. Slavery did not. Indentured servants, they had legal rights. They could bring cases to court. Their servitude had an end date. Black people, no, we didn't. We didn't have no rights. We were property. We could be killed, raped without any type of recourse. That ain't the same damn thing. Irish servitude was not hereditary. They didn't have Irish children as no damn slaves or servants. Their children were born free. In contrast, we had hereditary slavery. We were born into the damn shit. You seen pictures of little black kids out there picking cotton. They don't give a shit. You 2 years old with a cotton sack. Fuck out of here. Man, please. The Irish people, they were not racially marked for permanent oppression in this country. They gave them the hazing process that they do all Europeans. Yeah, they demonized them in the media. They always haze newcomers to let them know you better get on this white thing. Yeah, they were portraying the Irish as simians and apes and all that shit. The whole drunk fighting Irish, that was a thing. They always haze each other. They hazed the Italians. They would haze Jewish people. They hazed they're hazing the Latinos now before they let them into whiteness fully. Yeah? Come on now. But a lot of the Irish, they were able to eventually amalgamate into regular white society and get up off of their servitude and their oppression, quote unquote oppression. And they were always hostile to us when they were around us. You know the cities and towns where black people are that's by water. You notice there's a certain accent they have. Um, Places that's like around the Mississippi River, places like that, where black people worked on the docks, where there's places you had black people working with Irish folks, and the Irish were usually hostile to them. And black people were working around these Irish and they had to have transactional relationships with them. So a lot of people kind of picked up those old Irish accents that we still kind of retain to this day in some of these areas. You look at places like Memphis, that's right along the Mississippi River. St. Louis, there's another river. Is that the Ohio? What river is that by St. Louis? Louisville, Kentucky, those places that's by rivers. You notice they got them accents with what they call the intrusive R, because the Irish used to talk with a lot of hard R's. And you look at some of those cities, St. Louis, St. Louis, Louisville, Kentucky, Memphis, they be like, I'm about to go over there, over her. I like it when you do it right there. Like Glorilla, she's from Memphis. She talks with that hard R. That shit comes from the Irish. That's that Irish. That's old Irish shit that black folks in those areas kind of retained. They talk like that in St. Louis. So come over her. We got to go over there. I got to go do my her. That intrusive R that came from them damn Irish servants and them dock workers by the river. So black people, they didn't get to blend in with the dominant white society. Black folks had to be basically segregated in their own enclave. So they retained a lot of the um, vocal connotations whereas the white Irish, they were able to blend in so they don't talk with that hard R like they used to. So we were around them, but yeah, they weren't treated the same. That's my point. We were around them, but we were not treated the same. Don't let them run that game. That's them trying to minimize the oppression that we had, because we had to deal with oppression from the damn Irish. In Cincinnati, we were fighting the Irish during riots. In Detroit, we were fighting them. So yeah, wherever they were, we had to scrap with their asses. So let's put everything in the right context. We got a lot of the white supremacists in here. Dr. Davinsky, hop on in here. Dr. Davinsky, now he's been on a tricking trip. You've been all over the place. Are you still in the DR, Dr. Davinsky? You be all over the place tricking off your little money. Where you at now?
Salam alaikum, brother Tariq. This anti-Irish racism, man. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm in the
Anti-Irish? What's that?
yeah, I'm in the DR. We're the first foundational people in the Caribbean. At one point in time, 16th century, 17th century, around half of the population of the Caribbean were Irish slaves.
That
So
ain't foundational. I mean, there was already black folks
no,
over there.
no, but we're still foundational. I mean, what, like 1600s is not foundational?
Well, no, you immigrated from Ireland though, so
No, we were brought there as slaves. I want to give you a direct quote from a historian. This is from 1648, right? So this is not historical revisionism. This is a direct quote. His name was Thomas Gage, and he was a English Dominican missionary. This is what he says: many Irish boys and girls were taken by force from their families and shipped to the English plantations, where they were treated as slaves, beaten and
right,
kept in
as
subhuman
slaves.
conditions, as slaves, treated as slaves. And so
But
you
they
can
weren't though.
no, they were. In
No, they
practice
weren't.
they were. Because look, you can say they were indentured servants, but they didn't outlive their servitude, number one. And
Oh,
number
slow down.
two,
Yes, they did. And no, slow down. That's why he worded it like that. That's why they worded they were treated as slaves. See, they didn't say we were treated as slaves. They say we were slaves. There's a real big difference. You better word that thing
the,
right. They worded
but
that in a certain way.
the distinction was theoretical. Like, this is what other historians are saying.
Sir,
Like,
sir,
if you
no,
look at
no,
the
what,
quotes
sir,
that
you
I put in the
talking,
purple pill.
sir, under Oliver Cromwell, many of the Irish people, they were forcibly transferred to those British colonies, all right, because there was a rebellion. The Irish, they had a rebellion up there, and they're like, oh, we're going to send your ass up there to the Caribbean to kind of haze you. But they weren't chattel slaves, and they still had
They
contracts.
weren't chattel. They weren't
They were
chattel
not.
slaves, but they were slaves. So slavery
They
takes
weren't.
different forms.
They were indentured servants. They got let go. They were not slaves for life. And their children were not slaves. Was it brutal? Yeah,
They were. They were.
that's where the term redneck comes from, and red leg, because that sun would burn them damn necks out there. So it was brutal. They would get them red necks working in the field, and that's where the term redneck comes from. But they were still indentured. They were not slaves for life. And again,
It,
that's where the Caribbean accent comes from. It's really an Irish accent. So I know.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all housed together. Here's another quote from Eric Williams, historian and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The Negroes were increasing in number, but the white indentured servants, the Irishmen especially, was still bought and sold. The distinction between them was often theoretical. So if you look at the treatment of Irish and blacks, the term slave itself was more theoretical, but their
No,
condition.
because you keep proving my point. They said indentured servants. So yeah, they would sell the contracts to different people, and they would have to work out the contract until the time of the contract. It was not the same damn thing. They got a little hazing, and then they were let go, and they got paid, and they got land and
Those
resources.
contracts,
So you're not going to sit here and lie. Yes, we know it was brutal, but wasn't the same damn thing. All right? It wasn't
they,
perpetual race-based slavery.
the contracts weren't often honored, and the Irish people, were
Yes, they
mostly
were.
illiterate, so they got them to sign stuff they didn't understand, and then once they were there, most of
Most
them
white
didn't even
people here were
outlive their
illiterate. Most white
most.
people in America were illiterate in the
Yeah,
17th
so they didn't know what
century.
they were signing themselves into. And to contest their freedom, also, they didn't know how to do that. A lot of these so called contracts weren't even honored.
Yes,
Cromwell had a genocidal invasion of Ireland. My family came to Australia on the First Fleet. So what happened was the Somerset Act. All right. So this outlawed the transportation of slaves outside of Britain. So 5 years later, the first convict ship came to Australia. All that it was, convicts were merely a new, a different form of slavery because they couldn't, in theory, transport slaves. So they just charged people for these like these wouldn't be indictable offenses today. If you stole, let me ask you this: if you stole a loaf of bread to feed your starving family, because the British were exporting all of the food out of Ireland, leaving you to starve, would you call those people criminal? Like 10-year-old kids were sent to Australia to do 12 years of slave labor, working in chain gangs, building roads, building railways, for stealing a loaf of bread. That's slavery.
So,
You're being obtuse.
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not slavery. That's not slavery. And they didn't call it.
It is slavery. They banned the language. They banned Irish from owning land over a certain value. They banned Irish people from owning horses of a certain value. They banned Irish instruments. This was a cultural genocide which they wanted to do
Sir,
to the Irish
no,
people.
no, they were not treating them like they were treating black people. And you're not going to try to sit here and,
A lot of historians say
oh, the reality is the reality, and they weren't. They didn't.
it's indistinguishable though.
Are you babbling? You're not going to sit here just lying over and over. Family, they did not treat them like black people. They did not have perpetual slavery for them at all. None of their children were born into slavery at all. And not only that, the Irish joined the slave patrols and the militias in the South. It was them slave patrols were them Irish immigrants, dude. Let's stop with the bullshit. You're not going to sit here and act like we had some kind of oppressive camaraderie. Them slave patrols were run by the damn Irish. That's why it blended into the damn police. That's why they blended into the damn police. Man, and those Irish immigrants, when they had the draft riots, when it was time to free black people or to have the Civil War, it wasn't to free black folks, but they got mad at black people because the South wanted to split from the Union, and they started drafting people up in New York. Boy, them Irish immigrants went around attacking black people, lynching them, burning down their homes. These dirty ass people were sitting up here burning black orphanages, man. They went around burning some black damn orphanages. We ain't the same. We ain't the same. It was Irish immigrants mostly fighting for the damn Confederacy. Come on now. Them Irish soldiers were trying to prove their loyalty to white America to be fully accepted as white. It was Irish police that enforced segregation in northern cities, places like Boston, Chicago, all them damn Irish cops in Chicago. Want to go there? New York. Those Irish dominated police force agencies, they brutalized black people. They were the ones enforcing housing segregation and suppressing black political and labor organizations. It was them damn Irish. They were the ones to form them whites only labor unions. They were the first ones to do that. Come on now, let's tell all of it. Don't let these people sit up here and run that bullshit. It was them Irish workers who said we refuse to work alongside black people and got them unions together to exclude black laborers. Those Molly Maguires and all of that shit. Look that up. They prioritize race over class solidarity. Come on now. It was them Irish. They were participating in a lot of them lynch mobs. A lot of them were participating in that. It was them Irish politicians supporting segregationist policies. Tammany Hall and people like that. They use all of that anti-black rhetoric and segregational these policies to maintain white power. Don't let them sit up and act like there's some kind of camaraderie. Man, please. And let's not even get on the Irish mafia. Okay. Man, please. Hell, you want to go real deep? Jim Crow? Let's get real deep about your fellow Irish. You know, Jim Crow was a character started by Thomas D. Rice. He was Irish. Okay, look him up. That was the guy who started the whole Jim Crow. Jim Crow was a dance that we used to do on plantations to, kind of mock the slave owner to a certain degree. But then white people started dressing up like black folks and doing the Jim Crow dance. And that became America's first national form of entertainment, mocking black people. It was a white Irishman who started that, Thomas D. Rice. And then Jim Crow mockery, Jim Crow minstrel shows turned into Jim Crow laws. You see, it goes from, we just joking, playing around to, let's put some policies together to disenfranchise these black people. Natural, you giving me some, Natural, am I saying anything wrong? She keeps giving these little gestures here. Natural, am I telling your history? Are you not liking what I'm saying, dear?
I'm telling yours in the purple pill.
Okay, what's the purple pill? What are you saying in the purple pill?
Tons of evidence of Irish slavery as well as black slave hunters.
Okay.
The black man on the horse, chasing after the slaves. It was
What
not just
black
hunters.
What black?
Look, there are good and bad people in every race, man.
What black slave hunters? What are you talking about? What black slave hunters? There are no black slave hunters. Who are you talking about?
Okay.
Who? What black slave hunters? Okay, thank you. All right, you ain't saying nothing. Man. But listen. Y'all go look up stuff like the Molly Maguires. There was a little secret society of Irish immigrants who discriminated against black folks, had their little old unions, and they were discriminating against black folks. It was Irish doing that shit. Come on now, you're not going to sit up here and act like we had some kind of camaraderie. No. No. You had to prove your whiteness by aligning with anti-black attitudes. Y'all had to enforce racial boundaries and y'all had to embrace white supremacy. You guys included and participated in segregated housing. Y'all opposed interracial marriage, opposed policies that gave us equal treatment. Yeah, y'all actively participated in anti-black racism to rise up in the racial hierarchy. Don't let them sit up and tell you we were all the damn same and we got equal treatment. No, you don't get to do that. We don't play that game. Well, we got a lot of folks in here. What's up, Patty Cake? I see you in here. Boy, see, this is why, family, it's good to know your damn history. It is so good to know your history. And whatever that lady, whatever you put in the purple pill, I don't know what you putting. I don't know what you're putting. I'm trying to look in and see what she's doing. Okay. They're coming in here trying to rewrite and revamp history. Again, the white supremacists, they never take responsibility for the actions that they've done. They never take responsibility for it. They always try to paint themselves as victims. Well, the Jews made me do it, dude. I'm Irish. And listen, I'm part Cherokee and my people's land was stolen. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your ass up. Good Lord.
Tonight, root work tonight, root work tonight, root work tonight. I'll be feeling so right. I got that root work tonight. Feeling fresh from the morning light. Root work hit me, I'm set for the night. Look good, smell right. Yeah, I'm that type. I gotta let the world know I got that root work tonight. Root work tonight. Yeah, root work tonight. I'll be feeling so right. I got that root work tonight.